another episode of the Balcony Chronicles, of course. I'm your host, Talking Crazy 88. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing very well. I'm not going to keep y'all too long. La Roma de Cuba, the El Jefe. I am the El Jefe on my balcony. And the drink of Saturday, Elijah Craig bourbon. I love it. It's smooth. Goes very well with my cigars. Let me go ahead and turn it over. I kind of like the La Roma de Cuba. My go-to cigar, and I got to pack up my humidor, is with the CAO Italia and the Brazilian, which I had last week. Very good cigars. One of my favorites. Matter of fact, when I was at the cigar lounge, I got complimented on the cigars. My choice of cigar. I had this El Jefe, La Roma El Jefe, which is a Churchill. That means I have a lot of time to talk to you about today on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. I have a lot of time on the balcony, but I'm not gonna keep y'all long. Usually when at the 30-minute mark, I'll let y'all go and do your thing, and I got my thing, all right? Now, I've been hearing news reports about out in Chicago, Chirac, as y'all call it, right? Now, I talked about this 10 years ago, about issues that were going on in Chicago, about happy-headed niggers out there, gang culture out there, glorifying the old block, glorifying nigger behavior. All right. So when you go to a city where you can't go down to an area called the Wild 100s. Now I haven't been there in years. Okay. But I have no plans of going to Chicago unless I'm taking in a Cubs game, a Bears game, whatever they're paying the Saints in Chicago. Or if I know somebody out there. See, I don't know too many niggas out in excuse my language for using the N-word, because I normally don't use the N-word. Well, I do, but I'm trying to curtail using that word because, like I said, I'm in the 21st century. We got to do away with words like racial slurs. But, using racial slurs against one another, against black folks, all right? I am somewhat pro-black, but I'm pro-black if you're a foundational black American. Now, here's what the problem that I have now with the niggas in Chicago. And I'm going to use that word, and it's a fair warning. I'm going to use that word today on my live stream. And the reason being is because I heard a news report about a child that was being bullied in school by these future prison niggas. Because these children are going to prison. They're going to be ended up in the system. They're going to be on probation before they're 16. Okay. That's the cycle of life in Chicago. You grow up in the hood, you glorify gang culture, you harm other black folks, and then you go to jail. Then you go in and out of jail until you eventually go to prison. For what? It doesn't matter to me if they harm each other. one future criminal harms another future criminal, I could care less. All right? Because that's part of the game. Criminals harming other criminals. But when it comes to civilians, when it comes to not about that life, and you know they're not about that life, but you harm them, or you try to drag them into a situation, into your situation, where they end up ruining their lives. I got a problem with that. Now I got a problem with these little nigglets who attacked this boy, and the mother who was responsible wanted to protect their child, like any other mother would, walking her child to school in the south side of Chicago. All right. Now, 40 years ago, there was a code. You do not attack, even if it was my sworn enemy. I don't say nothing to that person, to that child. I don't attack their mother. I don't call them a bitch. I don't call the mother names. I don't call the child names. You let them, there's a code of conduct. You walk them into the school. You let the parent walk that child into the school, and you let that parent walk out. There was seemingly a little bit of respect children have for adults. And that respect has eroded over the years in the 21st century. And I can honestly tell you it's due to liberalism, where we believe that the children are our friends now. We're buddies with our child. We don't discipline our child. Children, we don't get in their face when they bring home C's anymore. We don't do any of that shit. Some of y'all baby mamas running around having children just to get a check. Irresponsible children, irresponsible mothers, and this is personifying irresponsible parent. And I honestly say it. And it's been going on for years, for the last 20 years, especially the last 10 years since I've been doing podcasts and live stream. I hear all stories specifically coming out of shit like this. But now you have the children attacking a parent. The mother of the child, which is totally unheard of. But of course, leave it to Chicago to set the trend of degenerate behavior, nappy-headed nigger behavior. All right. So I kind of knew this was going to bound to happen eventually. Mr. Charles Butler, who was on WVON, spoke about these urban terrorists, but nobody seems to want to do anything about it. So now it got online, and then parents, then adults, which I have a problem with it, but hey, if you can't control your children, somebody's going to have to control them. We got to get back to those days where outsiders have to maintain the code of conduct with children in public. Correcting a child in public when their parent isn't around. See, I got checked several times when I was a child while I was by myself, going back and forth to school. There were men that pulled me aside and said, "Hey man, hey little man, you gotta show them adult respect. You're a child. You don't pay damn bills. You are useless to me until you turn 18. Okay? A child is useless to a parent until they turn 18. See, a child needs their parent. The parent don't need the child. That's why my parents let me know that they didn't need me as a child. That stayed in my place. And we weren't friends. We're not friends. Even when even up in the day my father passed on in 2009, I had I showed that man utmost respect and dignity. I listened to what he said. He corrected me even when he was sick. Hell, the man, my father got up and went to work while I was sick. While most of y'all motherfuckers out there taking sick days, he got up off his ass and went to work. As a man, as a parent, and I have utmost respect for my father, and I have utmost respect for my mother because she took care of my father. Will I find a woman that will take care of me the way I will take care of her? Probably not. Not in the 21st century, not with American women. But like a wise man said to me, never say never. Okay? Right now, that's not a priority for me. Okay? I'm just happy being on my balcony, smoking my cigar, and drinking some bourbon, and talking to y'all fellas. But see, let me get back to these nigglets here. Now you got adults online threatening to come after these nigglets who attacked this woman and her child. And nobody from the school did a damn thing about it. These children, instead of being arrested and put in juvenile hall for battery charges, you know what the police did? They were protecting these little nigglets. And that kind of tells me something. You know, you had about a dozen cops in front of the school protecting these nigglets from retribution. Because these children, their parents know that they broke the code. Well, their baby mothers know they broke the code. There's a code of conduct. You don't attack. See, if you're not bold enough to attack your own mama, why are you going to attack an adult? See, I was born and raised in the 20th century, and try to fight an adult back in 1987 as a 13-year-old. You know, that man would clean my clock and bring me to my mom's house, my parents' house, and tell my mother and father that I tried to fight him. And guess what? I would get another ass whooping. See, that's how much respect I have for other people as a child, because I'm not as an adult. I didn't mouth off at an adult. Okay? I may have said something slick, but I didn't mouth off to an adult. It's always yes, sir, no, sir, please, thank you. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, please, thank you. See, raising a child that's respectful goes a long way. But not in Chicago, because y'all love the glorified gang culture out there. Same thing in LA. Y'all glorify that shit like it means something. It don't mean shit to me. It means nothing to me. I don't live in Chicago or in LA. And if I did, I would get the fuck out of there. Now we'll let the criminals kill each other. And you know what? In cities like New York and Chicago, I think the citizens should be armed. Law-abiding citizens should be armed to protect themselves from nappy-headed urban terrorists. Okay? Who want to harm me for no reason, who want to take what I worked hard for. Because they weren't man or woman enough to get up at 7:30 in the morning or 4:30 in the morning, drive an hour to work, an 8-hour, 10-hour day, or even a 12 day. Come home tired, rest up, to do that whole shit over again. I have respect for people who can do that. I don't have respect for niggas who don't want to work, who don't want to earn their own keep, living off of your mama, living off of a woman. It starts when you're young. You're living off of a woman. Some of y'all males out there are still living off of a woman. That's the parents' fault. That's the parents of these low IQ parents. The father and the mother are low IQ people. Low functioning, unintelligent, low IQ niggas. But you gotta understand something else. The government doesn't care. They don't give a fuck about you. And that's what the schools are. Schools are government entities. Public schools. They don't really give a fuck about the children in there. They don't give a fuck about the teachers. They'd have to go into this war zone and teach y'all nappy-headed urban terrorists, niggers, getting abused every day, getting talked crazy to, getting assaulted. See, nah, man, that's a job I couldn't do. Not in public school. Private school, maybe, but public school, nah. I'm cool with y'all. And the police have to deal with these nappy-headed urban terrorists. Now, God bless you. Believe me, I'm not pro-police because that's what they do all day is fuck with people. There's really no crime. When they see a criminal, they run. Okay? Or they get 12 people to gang up on one criminal on a suspended license who's resisting. Who's driving on a suspended license. Check out those early episodes of Cops. They were bullshit. The chases, when they get in the car, chases, the stops are usually a probation violation, a traffic stop that went sideways, or warrant, or even a domestic. Or worse I ever saw was a domestic violence call. They had to take a nigga out of the house in handcuffs, whooping ass. See, that's a profession I should have went into. Tried to understand what a police officer does and move up in the ranks. See, I wouldn't be one of y'all 70% niggas that just doing to get fired. Nah. I would be moving up. I would move up to sergeant, then lieutenant, then captain, maybe commissioner, maybe police chief or commissioner. That's what I would do. Or I would be working in internal affairs. Locking sorry ass cops that are in the 20%. Nah, I'll be that 10%. I'll be in that 10 percentile of exceptional police officers. Because I know 70% of them ain't shit. I know. But getting back to these nappy-headed niggas, these nappy-headed urban terrorist nigglets, then you got the parents of these niggas who attacked this woman, downplaying. And I'm going to get into it. And that's why it's y'all brothers' fault for impregnating these women. Okay? We got to stop impregnating nappy-headed nigga bitches. And then they turn out having these nigglets that you have no control over. All right. Think about it. Think about it like this, brother. I gotta call it. I gotta call it like it. I gotta call it as it is. All right. 90% of these women that you getting pregnant, and these young brothers, I want you to listen to this. 90% of the women that you're gonna get gonna impregnate don't give a fuck whether you're their father or not. They don't give a fuck about you. They give a fuck about that child, and they're gonna make sure you get X out of the life of that child. Okay? You're not gonna be shown. If you ain't married to that woman, you ain't gonna show up in the. You're not gonna show up in the family picture. You're not gonna be on her Facebook page as the child's father, as the daddy, baby daddy. You're not gonna be in family pictures. It's gonna be the mother, the grandmama, and the great grandmama, and some aunties running around. Not a man in sight. Especially if they have a boy. Ain't gonna be a man in sight. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. You can run to the courts. You can waste $50,000 to $100,000 in attorney fees and court fees, fighting for custody, fighting to get access to your child, fighting to raise your child. You're gonna do all of that. You're gonna waste up. I peeped game a long time ago. That's why I didn't want to impregnate none of these now. For what? For what? For who? So I can go through holy hell? Nah, play. I'm good in my one-bedroom apartment, sitting on my balcony, smoking my stick, drinking my bourbon. I'm cool with it. But it's all fault. And I mean, I can say, yeah, you should have vetted the woman. And yeah, you should have vetted the woman, but you know, you don't you don't give your sperm to every bitch out there. Pussy's not that good. Trust me. It's good, but it ain't that good. It's not good enough for me to spend $100,000 in court fees, attorney fees, running into the court for custody battle, and all that bull jive. If I'm gonna do that, you might as well marry the bitch. But a lot of these bitches, especially these black nigga bitches, they're not interested in marriage. No sir. No sirree. Trying to marry you, but we're trying to marry them, but they ain't trying to marry them. They're not trying to get married to you. I'm just being honest, player. I'm just being honest with you. I'm calling it as I see it. I'm just being honest. I'm calling it as I see it. I gotta tell y'all the truth. The truth of the matter is that these bitches are not really that good. They're not. Well, in my case, say this. In my case, they're not good enough. I can honestly say that. Every woman that I've dated, black, white, Hispanic, Hindu, snow bunny, the rice bunny, the salsa bunny, the chocolate bunnies, they're not good enough for me. Okay? The Italian bunnies, the Hebrew bunnies, they're not good enough for me. And that's what some of your brothers got to say to yourself. Is this bitch good enough for me? No. And I'm proud of y'all for cutting that shit off, because I've seen a lot of clips of y'all on first dates with a bitch who want to run up a bill on you. That means that bitch don't give a fuck about you. She gives a fuck. She only cares about herself. She don't give a fuck about you. And what would be the purpose of taking a bitch to Papa Do's or Capitol Grill? For what? I ain't taking that little bitch to no Capitol Grill or Papa Do's. The bitch is gonna get 2 for $20 at Applebee's. And the only thing I'm gonna have is salad because I ain't eating that nasty shit. But yeah, you gotta have some discernment. I know you're young. I know young players are young, right? Y'all young. Y'all in your 20s. You're dumb. You're young, dumb, and full of cum. All right. You're full of testosterone. You want to jump on the first bitch that you see. But I'm gonna tell you right now, players, it ain't worth it. Trust me when I tell you this. It's not worth it. Why? Because she's going to be raising nigglets that attack the woman down in Chicago. And there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Notice there's no father around next to the woman. They got jumped by these nigglets. Speaking of which, Coach Greg Adams had a stream yesterday, I think a couple of days ago, about bum ninjas. All right, spend their value running up on and cold approaching and risen these shit bitches. Okay. Y'all just go up to any old kind of bitch when you cold approaching. You don't give a fuck. You just go after any bitch that have titties and ass. Don't know if the bitch is crazy or on the run from the law for triple murder in Minnesota. You don't know. Could be a boyfriend of a drug mule. You don't know. And quite frankly, I know you don't care, but that's why y'all are broke. Instead of getting your money together, I know I need to get my money together because I'm having a bad month. This month was November was a bad month for me. So I gotta get it up in gear. I gotta get it together. Nobody's gonna give a fuck about me if I don't. Okay? I gotta get it together. I gotta sit down and buckle down. Get my shit together. And that's what a lot of y'all need to do. Y'all need to get your shit together. Instead of chasing after these hoes, running up and down, because that's a broke. Remember I told you in the past couple of streams, I told you cold approach is a broke man's way. That's a broke man. That's a broke man's way of getting women. I don't dress up and go out to a lounge or go to a movie, go to an event. You don't dress up, talk to some of the ladies who's giving you the eye. You go over there and talk to her. Say, hey, how you doing? How you like this movie? How do you like this event? How do you like this art show? What's your favorite piece around this house? I don't do that. I don't do that. That's about the most fun I ever had. Was just going out. There used to be a thing, I think it's still around. It's called Meetup. And I used to go to certain events at Meetup, and I met some ladies that way. Had a nice little conversation. Went out on dates. Met a chick that I dated for a couple of months. It just fizzled out. That's all. Happens. That happens from time to time. So But I was out. I wasn't on no damn dating app, and I wasn't randomly talking to women at Walmart, of all places, of Walmart. Okay? When you should try to get that, you should be applying to go to Walmart, pushing shopping carts, and stacking money up. That's what the fuck y'all should be doing. But y'all want to be a bum. Y'all have the characteristics of being a bum. You know, you move your shit in. You find a chick. Perfect. Most of the time, it's a single mom. All right. You move your shit in there. Play with spots. And then you have your mail sent there, and you just spend the night, yada 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 yada. Then all of a sudden, you living with a woman instead of the woman living with you in your place or getting a place together. See, when you move in with a woman, you're homeless, my nigga. You're homeless, my dude. That woman has no respect for you. Because you're moving in on her. You're moving in on her, in on. And you out, and she's out there getting a job, has a car, getting a job, and you're using her car while she's at work. Baby boy syndrome. That's what that movie is all about. You didn't catch it. But, you know, that's what it's all about, man. A little man child. Never knew how to grow up. And so with Melvin. He, prison nigga, moved in on a woman. Same syndrome. I mean, if you really look at that movie, Jody and Melvin are two sides of the same coin. That's why Melvin can relate to what Jody was going through. Until he finally became a man. Well, I don't know if he finally became a man. They never showed that side of it. You know, getting a job, taking care of his child. And marrying the bitch. But hey, I don't know. Hey, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm the crazy motherfucker. I don't know. I'm the crazy old man. Sitting on the balcony with a cigar in my mouth. Let me see. I've been talking about 30 minutes. Let me see who's on here. Oh. Let me see what's going on. Miguel, Queen Lear, America loves you. Thank you, dear. I love America. I'm Colette. Sorry for the bad language. Hi, dog. You live in America. Life is 100 times easier. Nice view. Hi, nice view. ERV. Okay. Habib Mokhtar, how you doing? Good to see you. All right. I like you. Not from America that's on the live stream. I you know, much respect to y'all in your respective countries, all right? And I'm one of those black folks that used to be down on America. There's no place for black men in America. We ain't got no opportunities. We used to have that losing mindset because I was around losers. Okay? See, when you're around losers, you blame everything on the white man. You blame everything, which could be true. I don't know. Because I was a victim of white supremacy too, but but I stopped me. See, America does work if you understand what America is all about, what it's all about, and appreciate it. Like my man Teddy Long, who used to be in the WCW as a referee, became a manager in the WCW, managed a tag team group called Doom, and managed Butch Reed, and now came to the WWE, was the commissioner player. But I watched some of his shooting videos, and he experienced hardcore racism in the business. Okay, he was called a nigger every night. Crackers down by these southern crackers down there in the south. Was turned down for jobs because he was black. They didn't say it was because he was black, but it was implied that he was black. Okay? But it didn't let him stop him from winning. It didn't stop him from making a name in his business. It didn't stop him from accomplishing his goals. See, when you have that determination, that winning attitude, and that determination of not quitting, doors open up for you. And it's ironic that we have little nigglets in Chicago who don't understand it. Who don't understand the value of being a U.S. citizen right now. Don't get me wrong, in the last 20th century, the last 100 years, black Americans, FBA, treated like worse than dog shit. But we persevered and overcame all the dog shit that was thrown at us. And we washed that shit off of our bodies and kept it pushing. Okay. But I have a pride of being a black American, or FBA. My roots are here. I'm not an African because I'm not a generic African because I don't know. I may have the phenotype of being an African, but I'm not African. All right, I'm not a generic African. All right. The Nigerians who are scam artists who built their GDP on scamming are Africans. All right. They can say they're Nigerians. They're proud to be Nigerians, but you come from a country in which their GDP is scamming. Okay. And usually within the divine interventions will come into play. And they will put a stop to that shit. Because that's their reputation. That's the Nigerian reputation. Remember I told you about reputation is who you are, people. So you got a whole country that has a reputation of scamming. You think I'm going to trust a Nigerian with my money? With my life? I'll trust a white man before I trust a Nigerian. And that says something. But I've been talking about Chicago, the nigglets in Chicago, the urban terrorists in Chicago. So has Mr. Charles Butler has talked about it for years. Nothing has changed. Matter of fact, it got worse. Okay. I want you to chew on the fat on this one. They said, daily live stream. I did a podcast about it. Obama, everybody on WVON, when that big-eared, happy President Obama was in office. They said, if Obama comes to Chicago, he'll put a stop to this shit. No, he came. Nothing changed. Because Obama don't give a fuck about black Americans. He gives a fuck about faggots. Faggots and carpet munchers. He don't give a fuck about, and trannies. He don't give a fuck about black Americans. Like most of these Africans don't. They don't give a fuck about us. Alright. And on a lighter note, Paul Pierce, my brother, giving out relationship advice. He said he's giving out millionaire advice to people who are on his level. That if you want to know if a woman loves you, just go ahead and cheat on her. Mr. Pierce, Paul Pierce, I love my man. You're my man in 10 grand. I will never meet because I'm not on your level. I'm not on your level. So that's why I don't really take relationship advice seriously, especially somebody that's on the higher end who pretends to be, who claims that he's a regular guy like me and you. No, my G, you have millions and millions of dollars. You can buy pussy if you want to. Now, if you want a decent woman, I mean, you can find that decent woman that doesn't know who the fuck you are, who also have a little bit of money, you know. But ironically, I was listening to Cam and Mace. Michael Irvin was on the show, and he was talking about it, and I caught the last of it. But Michael Irvin was saying, you know, he was dating this one chick, and his mother said, that woman is out for your money. He's like, well, yeah. And he pointed out that, yeah, well, I think you're just saying it because you couldn't find a man with money. Remember, I told you, fellas, man, women love a man that's either accomplished, that's winning, that has money, and that's competitive. Being broke loose has a short shelf life when it comes to women. They'll tolerate it for a period of time until they're going to start telling you, hey, Jody, when are you going to get a job? Fred, when are you going to get a job? And when she starts talking crazy to you, or you got a job pushing shopping carts from the parking lot, she's going to say, wait, how come you didn't get a better job? You need to get a better job, Jody. That's when they're going to start talking crazy to you. And then when she breaks up with you, and you're going to be like, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Nah. She just didn't accept your life of being she don't want to be a wife or a significant other of a man that's shopping carts from the parking lot into the store, into Walmart. That's what that's all about, player. You gotta boss up. You're in America, you're in the United States, player. You gotta boss up. There's opportunities galore. There's always been opportunities galore. You gotta get up off your ass, make some phone calls, do some networking. Have a plan. You always gotta have a business plan for yourself. You have to have a career plan and a business plan. They even talked about it. Colin Cowell, you can be you can either be a job guy or a career guy. A career guy has a lot to lose if they fuck up. Nothing wrong being a job guy. You can fuck up and find another job. And I know most of y'all don't want to be career guys, and that's fine. But you better go ahead and make some money. You're in the United States, man. You're in the land of the free, home of the brave. You better make some money. I know I got to get off I got to end this live because I got to make some money. Because I had a bad month this year, so I got to make some money. My mortgage company is coming after me. They calling. So listen, let me go ahead and get the fuck up out of here. Because I gotta go make some money. This is talking crazy. Let me mark I'm not giving out my number. You can only see me here every Saturday, player. We'll talk later. Just talk on the chat. We'll talk. All right. Well, listen, let me get on out of here. This is Talking Crazy 88, and I am out of here. And black folks, let's be careful out there, all right? And make some money.